In Buford, there's two types of houses. They look exactly the same. They basically have the same square footage. They have basically the same amount of land, both in an HOA. They're basically very similar houses. The difference is one costs on average $100,000 to $150,000 more than the other. What's the difference? One difference. One of those houses is within the Buford City School District, one of the top rated school districts in the entire country, and according to niche.com, #1 school district in the state of Georgia. In this video, we're going to talk about the pros and the cons of moving to Buford, and we're going to talk about, is it worth moving up in price, that $100,000 to $150,000 to live within the Buford City School District? You're thinking about making the move, and the best school district in the entire state of Georgia would make a big difference for you? Stay tuned. Talking about Buford, Georgia, right now. So here's the thing to keep in mind. Buford runs its own independent school system, okay? It's independent of Gwinnett County Schools and independent of Hall County Schools. The state of Georgia actually now bans cities from starting their own school systems. There's only 21 of those in the state. Buford stands alone. It is rated consistently the best school system in the entire state of Georgia. Now, here's the trap, okay? Buford is a big area, right? It incorporates a couple of zip codes. It's a large area, but the Buford school footprint is a lot smaller than people think, okay? So that's something you have to keep in mind when you're moving here. You have to know where that footprint is. So anytime we're looking at homes in Buford, we've got to look specifically from house to house what school that the home is zoned for, okay? So just because you're moving to Buford, it does not mean you're going into Buford schools. So in this video, what we're going to do is we're going to look from number 5 all the way to number 1, kind of the top reasons and the cons of moving to Buford, okay? But the top 2 on both pros and cons are specifically for Buford school system, okay? Like if you're in that Buford school district. And stick with us because we're going to lay out the reasons why some people are willing to put down an extra $150,000 on a house to be in the Buford school system, okay? Here we go. Top 5 things about Buford, whether or not upgrading the Buford school system makes sense for you. Moving to Buford, pro number 5, and this is whether you're living in the Buford school limits or just in Buford in general. That's Lake Lanier right behind me. Location, location, location. You are on the southern tip of Lake Lanier. You're right near the dam, Buford Dam. Now, keep in mind, boating wise, on a weekend, it's crazier on the south side of the lake than it is on the north side of the lake. This is the south side of the lake. This is basically like southern tip of the lake in Buford, but Lake Lanier, you can get in here. That's one of the cool things about the location. And with the lake being right here, all kinds of campgrounds. We're at this spot where we're at, Shoal Creek, right around the corner. Camped there several times in the past. Great location, lots of campgrounds here, lots of ways to access Lake Lanier. Also, location-wise, if you need to get into downtown, you have Interstate 85 and Interstate 985 and Peachtree Industrial Boulevard. All 3 of those are good, solid ways to get into the city. Now, that's the good news. The bad news is there's not a whole lot of times where you go into the city where you don't run into traffic. So do pack your patience, but know that if there's no traffic, you want to get from here all the way down to the airport, you're talking about an hour drive or so. But to get to downtown in rush hour, talking about an hour and a half. On crazy days, maybe talking about maybe 2 hours to get in. So keep that in mind. It's a little bit out here, but it's not crazy. All right. You start getting a little further up 85 or further up 985, start getting to a spot like a Jefferson or a Commerce. I mean, Commerce is way out. Jefferson's even further out. Go up 985, talking about like a Gainesville. That's even further out if you're going to commute all the way in from Atlanta. But Buford's kind of on that outer fringe of being able to commute in from Atlanta, still have this in the backyard for the weekend. So location, you have access to get into the city and you got this in the backyard. That's pro number 5. Now con number 5, and we've already talked about it, didn't take long to get there, traffic. You gotta know, traffic is a serious deal here in Buford, especially in front of the mall. We talk about traffic, 85, 95 and everything going downtown. Not everybody works downtown. Everybody's gonna travel along 20 in front of the mall to do something. I'm telling you right now, if it's on the weekends, you gotta use your Waze, find out a different ways around the mall because 20 is a parking lot on the weekends, okay? And then the Christmas season, man, forget about it. Ain't gonna happen. 20 is crazy. Traffic is crazy in Buford on the surface streets, especially during the peak rushes and on the weekends, okay? So be ready for that. Are there ways around it? Yes. I live here. I know all the back roads. Don't learn all the back roads. Those are mine, all right? Learn your own back roads, but there are ways around stuff, okay? Do be ready for that. Traffic is a big deal here. All right, so pro number 4 for Buford, right behind me, Mall of Georgia. What else is there to say about the Mall of Georgia? It's the largest mall in the entire state of Georgia. Obviously, malls are not what they used to be. Don't tell that to Mall of Georgia. Mall of Georgia's got all kinds of stuff going on. 1.8 million square feet, 225 stores in here, 9 anchor stores. You've got the IMAX theater here, and one of the best IMAX theaters in the entire state. Outdoor village with 500-seat amphitheater. They do movies under the stars here. And then, like, if you want to go get something to eat, you got all these great, restaurants that are here within this kind of amphitheater area. You got Cheesecake Factory, P.F. Chang's right over here, but you got all these other kind of little, like, mom and pop type places around here as well. But you've got all this shopping, like, around the mall too. I mean, like, right across the street, you've got, like, you got your Best Buys, you got your Targets, you got your Hobby Lobbies, Cavenders, you've got Costco, which we, as talked about in the past, we got 8 kids. We give our deposit to Costco all the time. I mean, you've got everything in Buford shopping wise. So you don't have to worry about, like, do I need to go anywhere to go shopping, or do I need to go anywhere to go to a restaurant or whatever. I mean, it's all right here in Buford. That's the pro. Now, the con that goes with that is growth. There's a lot of people here. When you look at the Buford cluster specifically, they grew from 800 students back in 1956 when it started to over 6,100 students today. All right, so what is that, 70 years later? Yeah, gone about 10x the number of students here, okay? And then when you're here, I mean, when you're through Buford, yeah, mall's great. I live in Buford. We know all the back roads because you do not want to get caught on 20, which is just the highway right outside the mall. You do not want to get caught on 20 on a Saturday or like 5 o'clock in the afternoon because it's crazy. We talk about growth. There's a lot of growth here. There's a lot of people here in Buford, okay? So that's straining not only the Buford school system, but all the other school systems too. Some of the newer school systems, they're pretty darn packed as well. You got a lot of people here, okay? So growth, it's a beautiful thing. It means that Buford's a wonderful place to move to, but do keep that in mind. A lot of people here, a lot of growth. Pro number three, downtown. This is not kind of a fake town. You got like an authentic kind of old school downtown where it's not just where they've got like an old school downtown, they built up all these new stuff. They've kind of worked it into the older feel. Right? You got like Bare Bones Restaurant, you got Aquaterra, like one of my favorites, Main Street Deli's right down here. You've got so many cool little like restaurants, shops, and everything on this downtown area. And there's a lot of that old school Buford charm, not just on the downtown, like the strip right here, but all around. You got some of the older restaurants, you got some of the older buildings. So you got some of that older Southern charm to go along with the mall. And like everything like done up over near the mall area. This is like right along the railroad tracks, downtown area. It's like a really cool spot. And they always seem to be opening something new in here. Like they have the ice cream shop down here as well. So cool spot down here in downtown Buford. So that's pro number three. You've got kind of that authentic, kind of Southern, old school charm. All right, so con number three about moving to Buford. Most neighborhoods in Buford, HOA. A lot of the neighborhoods, HOA controlled. Some of those HOAs are cool. Like my neighborhood HOA, they don't get in your business too bad. Like if your mailbox needs to be fixed, they'll let you know the mailbox needs to be fixed. Guilty as charged. That's what happened. That's what we did. No big deal. That's what the HOA is supposed to do. But sometimes HOAs can get a little crazy. Some people they tell me straight up, Steve, I want a house that does this. I want a house that does that. And I don't want to be in an HOA. All right. There are some spots in Buford that don't have HOAs. But the overwhelming majority are in those neighborhoods that are governed by HOAs. So don't get me wrong, HOAs do serve a purpose, okay? There is a reason why you have them, but you do get those crazy ones, okay? So if you're not wanting to be in an HOA, do be very careful what houses you're looking at. Be sure you're looking in the right spots because a lot of those houses in Buford have HOAs in the neighborhood. That handles all the pros and cons for just all over Buford. We're getting ready to hit the ones that are specifically within the Buford City Schools district, okay? Because they're big, number 2 and number 1. Now, if you watch this far, obviously you're thinking about making a move or at least trying to scope the area out, trying to scope some of these suburbs out. Do me a favor, subscribe down below. That's what we're doing. We're touring all these suburbs. We're going to be touring new constructions. We're doing all kinds of cool stuff on here, trying to get people prepared, whether they're moving into the area or maybe they're relocating from another part of North Georgia and just trying to find what's the next town I want to live in. Buford's a great town, okay? That's why you're here. Hit subscribe because we're going to be doing a lot more around Buford, comparing Buford to some of the other locations. Also talking about the less talked about suburbs of North Georgia. We're doing all kinds of stuff, man. Subscribe. I want you to keep up with it, all right? Now, what do you get? if you live inside the school district of Buford. Let's go. So everything to this point, we've talked about Buford and why you should move to Buford. No matter where you live in Buford, everything we've talked about is within Buford. Now we're inside the Buford City School District, number 2 and number 1, talking about the pros and the cons, okay? In pro, you're standing in the shadow of the monstrosity you've probably heard of before, Philip Beard Stadium, 10,000 seat stadium here in Buford. The Buford Wolves themselves have won 50 state titles, 15 of those in football, including 2025. That was last season. We're recording this middle of 2026. We'll see what they have in store for 2026, but 2025, a perfect 15-0 national championship. They've won 13 state titles in softball, and Niche just ranked this the number 3 school district in the United States for student athletes. So there's a reason why this is such a popular school district. It's not just about football. They also have a state-of-the-art performing arts building here as well. There's a big reason why the Buford school system is such a draw, though. And again, number 2, it's the athletics, and it's really the football. Friday nights, man, like I tell you, I live in Buford. I live outside the Buford City District, but man, Buford on a Friday night in the fall, wow, what a show they put on when it talks about how many people are here and how many, like it seems like the whole city rallies around and comes down to the stadium for Friday night football here. It's just, it's on a different level. It's number 2, that's the pro. Now the con for that is it might be a little too tight-knit. There's a lot of people who talk about the Buford City District. There's a lot of like chatter on some of the online message boards and things like that. It's almost like a little too tight. And I've talked to people who, I met somebody at an open house in the Buford District. They lived in Sugar Hill, but they got their kids into Buford because you can pay to get into Buford, and we'll have details about that down below in the description. They were in the Buford District, but they lived in Sugar Hill. They felt like they were complete outsiders because they didn't live in Buford. People are trying to not just be in the school, but be in the area as well, okay? So it is a very tight-knit cluster. For some people, that's a great thing, but for a lot of people, that is a con. It feels a little too tight, all right? So that's the one thing you gotta keep in mind. What type of family are you? What kind of school system are you trying to be a part of? That's what this is. But just make no mistake about it. That is what you're moving into. Again, that's con number 2. Here we go. Number 1, schools. We're standing in front of Buford High School. You see all kinds of reports. The big one is Niche. Came out, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. No, it's niche or niche, whatever it is. Number 1 in the state of Georgia is Buford. Buford, number 1 in the state of Georgia. For 11 straight years. Also ranked at number 16 nationally, A+ overall. This is big stuff. Here's some other stats. 95% graduation rate at Buford High School. SAT average, 1155. That's 85 points above the state average. The other cool thing is that the district pays for all the students' AP fees. If they're taking an AP exam, they pay for the fees there as well. So when you look at it, Buford, number 1 in the state of Georgia, is number 16 nationally. Forsyth County Schools, number 3 in the state. Number 209 nationally, and Gwinnett, number 18 in the state overall, and number 905. Okay, so that's the gap that moving into the Buford City Schools buys. Now, when you look on greatschools.org, and that's the one that we always talk about, Buford, if you don't move into the Buford district, you still have some really nice schools. The second-year cluster is a very good cluster, has some very good elementary schools. It's got some very good middle schools as well. So if you were to move to Buford, if you don't end up in the Buford schools, and you end up in the second-year cluster, you still got some really good elementary schools, really good middle schools that are feeding into second year as well. But Buford is what people move here for, okay? So that's the number 1 thing about moving here. These schools are exceptional, nationally rated. Like we talked about, according to Niche, number 1 in the state, number 16 nationally. That's the number 1 pro. So there's the con that goes with this as well, and it's the thing that we alluded to in the very beginning of this video, price. You're paying a lot more to be in Buford City Schools than you are to just move to Buford. In the first 6 months of the year, the median home price to move into Buford itself, regardless of school, was $495,000. That's the median home price. To move into Buford City Schools, $630,000. Okay, that's about $150,000 higher to move into the Buford City School District than to just move to Buford itself. That's a big pill to swallow. And like we just talked about, it's a pretty intense circle. You see reports of that. We've met people that have talked about that. If you're in the Buford City Schools, it's great to be in the family, but it's a pretty intense family, okay? So you got to be ready for that. So that is a con. You've got to be paid to be a part of this. Is it worth it? That's up to you. We've laid out the highs and the lows. We've laid out everything. It just depends on you. How important is it to be in a really good school or an exceptional school? And is that difference worth $150,000? The big question is, can you find a really good realtor that can help you find a house in the Buford district that's a little bit less than that 630? Maybe I'm your guy. Let's wrap it up. Okay, we have talked about top 5 reasons to move to Buford, top 5 cons moving to Buford. And again, look specifically at Buford City Schools. The 2 big questions for you now are A, is Buford your city? Is that the spot you want to be in? And number 2, is it worth it? Is it worth that extra money, that extra $100,000 to $150,000 on average to make the move into the Buford City School District if you are looking to move into the best school district in the state of Georgia? Again, according to niche.com, and maybe being in a slightly smaller house is worth it. Maybe spending a little bit more on a house is worth it. Getting a little bit less on the little things so you can be in that district is worth it. Maybe that's your jam. If it's okay to be in the Gwinnett County School District and be in the second-year district, some spots in Buford actually go into the linear. If that's okay with you, and those are both highly rated schools according to greatschools.org, if that's okay, maybe it's not worth it to go up in price to get into that Buford City School District. It really depends on what you want. What do you want? That's a great question. If you want to talk it out with us, that's what we're here for. Numbers below. You can call us, you can text us. Whether that means you're moving in 2 days, 3 weeks, 4 years. Let's talk now. Let's come up with a game plan. Let's start talking about what makes all these different suburbs unique, what makes Buford unique, okay? And let's find out, if this is a spot for you, okay? Down below in the description, we've got homes that are in the Buford City School District, and we've got homes that are just in Buford itself, okay? You can look at both of those and see the difference, okay? While you're there, don't forget to subscribe because we're gonna be doing this a lot. A lot of tours of all these neighborhood suburbs. We're gonna do new construction tours, things like that. I want you to be a part of it, especially if you're moving to the area. You wanna keep up with what's going on? That's what we do. My name's Steve. I'm with the Milone Home Team with EXP, and this is a Living in North Atlanta YouTube page. I really appreciate your time. Don't forget to subscribe and binge watch all our videos. I'm going to give you one to watch right now before I head out of here. Appreciate your time today. Y'all take care. Bye.